welcome to Out West. We're Jim and Bobby Bell, who I think most of you know. We have some new people in the audience, so thank you for coming. Again, welcome to SCV TV presents a continuing filming of our Out West musical extravaganzas. And we're lucky to have the Crosstown Cowboys with us tonight. This is probably, what, 30 different performances?
Oh, I think we're up to over 40 since we opened.
Oh,
and SCV TV has captured about 26 of them, I think.
Great.
Yes. And you can find all of the past concerts at scvtv.com. And then you click on music, and there's a drop-down menu, and you'll see the Out West concert series. And they go all the way back to June of 2010.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and we're so thrilled to have them again with us this evening. It allows us to bring wonderful live performances right into your home if you're not able to be here. And if you are here and then you watch it, you discover that it's kind of a different concert. They do a phenomenal job of editing and all, but it's not quite the same as being here live. So we would recommend come live and then enjoy it in the convenience of your home about a month later, right?
I couldn't say it better myself.
So tonight we are thrilled to have with us the Crosstown Cowboys. And these three gentlemen are going to provide a wonderful evening for you with some traditional Western tunes and also some original music. You are going to be tapping your toes and swinging those hips. You might want to just push all those chairs out of the way and get up and do a little swing, right? And they also have their brand new CD. I'll do my little dog and pony show here. Their brand new CD is called That Old Prairie Moon, and they're going to do some of their pieces from this tonight, which is original music, which is always exciting for a group when they premiere original music. And I also wanted to take a moment. Can you hold that for me? I also just wanted to take a quick moment. I want to talk about Dusty Hart, the lead vocalist right here, for just a moment. Dusty, just tip your hat so they know who you are. Dusty is not only an accomplished performer, but he has some really interesting family history. And one is that your granddad was a sculptor. Mm-hmm. And you'll find throughout the store lamps and bookends that are based on his granddad's sculpture. All made here in the United States, and all really part of the legacy of his family history. And that's part of what we do here at Out West, is bring that history right here and promote the arts and music and authors and jewelry and designers and all of that is tied to the history of the West. So we thank you for being with us tonight, and without further ado, please help us welcome to the Out West stage the Crosstown Cowboys.
Thank you, Bobby Jean and Jim. Well, we're going to play a little music for you here. I hope you like it. We play, like she said, Western swingy type of stuff. And without any further ado, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on and throw away your troubles, cast them to the moon, and sell all your worries for free. Grab your hat and get your boots on, pretty soon we'll be long gone to the Cowboy Jubilee. If you got lots of leisure time and nothing else to do, and wanna be happy like me, just grab your hat, get your boots on, pretty soon we'll be long gone to the Cowboy Jubilee. Just hear the cowboy band a-playing. You know your blues won't mean a thing when you get in the swing. Say a cowboy's life is for me. Soon all your cares you'll be shedding, and likely you'll be heading to the Cowboy Jubilee. Just hear the cowboy band a-playing. You know your blues won't mean a thing when you get in the swing. Say a cowboy's life is for me. It's all about you. Just grab your hat and get your boots on, pretty soon we'll be long on to the Cowboy Jubilee. Just do the cowboy band playing one more time. You know your blues won't be the thing when you get in the swing. Say a cowboy's life is for me.
You can have it.
Soon all your cares you'll be shedding. Likely you'll be heading to the cowboy jubilee. Oh yeah, the cowboy jubilee. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we'd like to do the title track of our CD, our new CD, That Old Prairie Moon. It's an original Crosstown Cowboys song, and we hope you like it. Here you go. 3, 4. That old prairie moon shines tonight over hills and valleys so blue. That old prairie moon shines so bright while I sit here alone with you. It seems to say I love you. It seems to know my mind. That prairie moon above you shines the words I just can't find. That old prairie moon shines tonight while I sit here alone with you. It seems to say I love you. It seems to know my mind. That prairie moon above you shines the words I just can't find. That old prairie moon shines tonight while I sit here alone with you. Thank you.
You know, I was talking earlier about this being a place of performance and stuff, and this could only happen if Bobby, Jean, and Jim didn't work so hard to make this store a success and so hard to make it a success as a venue. And I'd like you to all keep in mind that without their support, we wouldn't have this place. But on the same token, without your support, we wouldn't have this store. So I'd just like to say, if you've got a couple of bucks, don't go to the chain stores. Don't go to Target and Walmart and waste your money on Chinese stuff there. Come here and buy artwork and clothing made by Americans for Americans in the American tradition and keep this place alive, because without them, they've built this into a monument of Western music in a very short time. It's known around the country now by people.
Especially those bookends. Buy those bookends.
Sound like a plug.
Can I have a drink? You know, it's really nice to just play here among friends. It takes the nervousness away from it all.
But I shoot with this hand.
Okay, what are we gonna Okay, this is another song off of our CD. It's an original Crosstown Cowboy song. Robbie's here to sing it for you. It's called The Color Blue.
How come bass players don't get them things?
Because they have to come with a clamp.
Ah.
The whole thing confuses me.
So does this thing. Didn't they tune that at the factory?
They did.
You better send it back.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm back in town today to see you at last. This time I'll stay, I'll go away, not like the past. These boots were meant to wander, dusty trails, tall grass, a big sky hue, the color blue. It all went by so fast, and one thing keeps hurting. One thing, it's true. My thoughts don't stay, they always stray back to you and the color blue. I started on that letter, the one I never wrote. My thoughts won't cast, they don't last, and barely can I know. I search for you all day, by road and door to door. They say you've gone to sing your song to one that you love more, and one thing keeps hurting. One thing, it's true. My thoughts don't stay, they always stray back to you and the color blue. This time I'll stay. This time I do. I'm sorry I hurt you. I guess what they say is true. Love's here today that fades away. Well, for me, it ain't that way. The time casts long shadow, the waves of ages past. We're here today, we go away, we all become the past. And one thing keeps hurting. One thing, it's true. My thoughts don't stay, they always stray back to you and the color blue.
If you'll forgive me, I just have to. Writers put their heart and soul into writing songs, and then we fight over who gets to put their songs where on the record, you know, because we all write songs. And then we all wonder which one's going to be the one that the radio stations will play. And they play the one
you least expect.
Yeah, so they play, this next song is the one that they play. And it's such a disappointment to us.
Thanks, pal.
So here it is.
You know, I second that. Yeah. All right.
Well, I
I finally made it. I got my own ranch bred. As a rich young cowboy, I think it's time to wed. My heart did call me back to town, to the summer dance. There I found my true love. She took me with a glance. Eyes as blue as water, hair as red as fire. She was a cookie's daughter. I met my heart's desire. We courted for a week or two, or maybe 3 or 4. As I proposed to her, I knelt down on the floor.
And what did you say?
It was soon thereafter, much to my dismay. She had no gift for cooking, no talent to display. With a big tear in her eye, she explained it all this way. I really had to listen to what she had to say. I didn't have much choice in the matter.
All right, here we go.
Oh, my sweet dear husband, I know just how this looks, but while my daddy's on the trail, I had my nose in books. Now I can quote you Shakespeare, a philosopher or two, but when it comes to cooking, I just can't make no stew.
So it's beans again for breakfast, beans again for lunch, beans again for supper. On Sundays it's for brunch. Burnt beans on the stovetop, fried beans on the coals, baked beans on the stew pot. Man, these beans are getting old. The corners on these 3 square meals are sticking in my craw. And if I have to eat more beans, I think I'll fake lockjaw. Oh, my sweet dear wife, I know she's really trying. The pressure finally got to her and she commenced to crying. She threw a skillet at me, pots and dishes too. I ducked and covered just in time to miss what she had threw.
That's bad.
As it just so happens, the pot had missed my head. It glanced off the table and hit the lamp instead. The oil lamp, it hit the floor, the burning oil to spread. We ran out the front door, and for our lives we fled. All I asked was dinner. She burnt down our homestead, when all I really wanted was just some fresh baked bread. Our ranch house is gone now, and things are really lean. All we have left now is 100 pounds of beans. So it's beans again for breakfast, beans again for lunch, beans again for supper. On Sundays it's for brunch. Burnt beans on the stovetop, fried beans on the coals, baked beans on the stew pot. Man, these beans are getting old. The corners on these 3 square meals are sticking in my craw. And if I have to eat more beans, I think I'll fake lockjaw. Now you guys did a pretty pathetic job on that one.
I thought we did.
You guys sing it along now, okay? So it's beans again for breakfast, beans again for lunch, beans again for supper. On Sundays it's for brunch. Burnt beans on the stovetop, fried beans on the coals, baked beans on the stew pot. Man, these beans are getting old. The corners on these 3 square meals are sticking in my craw. And if I have to eat more beans, I think I'll fake lockjaw. And if I have to eat more beans, I think I'll fake lockjaw.
Thank you. Okay.
I'm a roving cowboy, far away from home, far from the prairie. I used to roam where the doggies wander and the wind blows free. Oh, my heart is yearning for the lone prairie. Oh, carry me back to the lone prairie where the coyotes howl and the wind blows free. When I die western sky, on the lone prairie, give me back my saddle, give me back my gun, give me back the Bronco I used to run. Let me lay my blanket by a peaceful stream, hear the cowboys singing by the campfire's gleam. Oh, carry me back to the lone prairie where the coyotes howl and the wind blows free. When I die, you can bury me,
You can bury me
beneath the western sky, on the lone prairie. Oh, carry me back to the lone prairie where the coyotes howl and the wind blows free. When I die, you can bury me,
You can bury me
beneath the western sky, on the lone prairie. Beneath the western sky, on the lone prairie.
You want to do the New Hall National Anthem?
Okay.
Okay, we're going to do the New Hall National Anthem now. This is the one that they teach to all the kids in school now.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
This is dedicated to Leon.
Cigarettes and whiskey and wild, wild women, they'll drive you crazy, they'll drive you insane. Cigarettes and whiskey and wild, wild women, they'll drive you crazy, they'll drive you insane.
Once I was happy and I had a good life. I had enough money to last me for life.
Want to loan me a fin until Friday?
I met with a girl and we went on a spree.
Oh, there's trouble. These sprees are bad.
She started me smoking and a drinking whiskey.
Cigarettes and whiskey and wild, wild women, they'll drive you crazy, they'll drive you insane. Cigarettes and whiskey and wild, wild women, they'll drive you crazy, they'll drive you insane.
Now I'm older and covered with age.
Got that right, big guy.
Boy, howdy, man. What is that, Roseman?
The lines on these two guys' faces are well-written page.
Oh, thanks, pal. Love you too.
I'm telling this story. It's sad, but it's true.
Oh, tell it, brother, tell it.
Of women and whiskey and what they can do.
Cigarettes and whiskey and wild, wild women, they'll drive you crazy, they'll drive you insane. Cigarettes and whiskey and wild, wild women, they'll drive you crazy, they'll drive you insane.
Right on the cross at the end of my grave.
That's if you get one.
4 women and a whiskey, here lies a poor slave.
Truer words were never etched.
I'm telling you, all of my friends.
You got friends?
Two, my mom.
Not in this band.
Write these 3 words right there at the end.
Cigarettes and whiskey and wild, wild women. They'll drive you crazy, they'll drive you insane. Cigarettes and whiskey and wild, wild women. They'll drive you crazy, they'll drive you insane. They'll drive you crazy, they'll drive you insane. They'll drive you crazy, they'll drive you insane.
Okay.
Tell him.
Doggy's Lullaby? This is another one off of our CD. You know, the story is that they used to, when they were herding the cattle across the plains, the Great Plains, they called them dogies, by the way. His wife didn't know that, and she thought this song was about dogs. Funny thing. But anyways, so they would bring a violin or a harmonica or a guitar. At night, the doggies would all be, rounded up, and if they heard a coyote howling or something, they'd go into a stampede. So this is what they'd sing to calm them down, and this is our version of that. We call it Doggy's Lullaby. One more day's drive is over, round it up, bed it down. The night guard's riding a circle, the doggies don't make a sound. Well, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, the moon keeps rolling along. The campfire's dying, the coyote's crying. I think it's time to sing one more song. Little doggies, don't worry tonight. I'm gonna strum till morning, keep you feeling no fright. Yodelay, 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 your own lullaby. Soon we'll get to Wyoming, there I'll bid you adieu. They'll be dressing a table, biscuits, gravy, and you. But till then, I will keep you calm and quiet tonight. The desert's chillin', the birds whippoorwillin'. I'm gonna strum till the morning light. Little doggies, don't worry tonight. I'm gonna strum till morning, keep you feeling no fright. Yodelay, 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 your own lullaby. Little doggies, don't worry tonight. I'm gonna strum till morning, keep you feeling no fright. Yodelay, 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 your own lullaby. Well, Skybolt Pink was a devil saint, his eyes were a fiery red. Couldn't have tried this horse to ride, and all of them were dead. Well, I won't brag, but I rode this night till his blood began to boil. Then I hit the ground and I ate 3 pounds of good old western soil. Singing, oh lad, don't you make me mad, I'm the devil's great grandson, and I'm doing my best to tame the west with my great big 44 gun. Yo, hello, tea, yodelay, tea. yodeloo-dee, yodum-yodoo, yodeloo-dee, yodeloo-dee, yodeloo-dee. I swore by heck I'd break his neck for the jolt he gave my pride. I threw my noose on that old coyote and once more took a ride. I turned around and soon I found his tail where his head should be. So his head says, perhaps he's shy or he just don't care for me. I'm singing, oh, Dad, don't you make me mad. I'm the devil's great grandson, and I'm doing my best to tame the West with my great big 44 gun. That hurts. Well, in town, you see, just to have a spree where the meetings all share a gym. With fistic fun and my big 6 gun, I buys the town from him. For a hoop and a holler and a counterfeit dollar, then I asked for a bill of sale. But my face turned red when the contract said just 30 days in jail. Singing, I know that don't you make me mad. I'm the devil's great grandson, and I'm doing my best to tame the West with my great big 44 gun. Hello, yo-dee, yodelay-yo-dee. Yodeloo-dee, yodum-yodoo, yo-dee, yodeloo-dee, yodeloo-yodeloo-dee. Where the greasewood, that's where Stetson hats and the bad men all run free. Where there's hold the jail at a bargain sale, now that's the land for me. Where the desert ants wear buckskin pants, help me rule the land. With the ants and the bats and my 2 cats, I'll rule with an iron hand. Singing, oh, Dad, don't you make me mad. I'm the devil's great grandson, and I'm doing my best to tame the West with my great big 44 gun.
Now, how is it that you learned to yodel like that?
Well, I tell you, you just go buy a bag of marbles.
Bag of marbles.
Throw all of them in your mouth and yodel a song and then spit one out. And then yodel another song and spit it out. And then you've lost all your marbles. You're a yodeler.
Well, that certainly explains the floors in your house.
Okay.
You want to let him know?
So some of the songs we do are novelty songs, kind of like Beans.
Nah, that's not. That's a true story almost.
That's a true story, yeah.
Almost happened.
Well, actually,
And
this
they're all
is
our
kind
big
of,
hits.
This is kind of a true story too. It's about parenthood, and it kind of goes like this. You know, I was out loading my buckboard early one morning, and my daughter, well, she comes to me. She says, "Daddy, I'm moving to town. I can't take my cat, don't you see?" Well, that big old cat jumped out her arms, and he sat in my wagon right next to me. Well, that was that. I guess I got me a cat. Hey, Chucky, the buckboard cat. He's big, orange, and fat. He picks the bugs out the air, gives all the birds that big-eyed stare. When we go to town, all the kids gather around to see Chucky, a buckboard cat. He's big, orange, and fat. Well, you know, Chucky and I, we was riding back to the ranch one day, and I had to stop and retie the load. Well, that big old cat, he jumped off the wagon to chase something there in the road. I climbed back up in the buckboard and grabbed the reins, and I gives the team a haul. Well, that old Chucky cat, he was kind of in the way. He made the most awful sound I ever saw. So what do you say, fellas? He said, meow, 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 meow. Say, excuse me, that's my tail. Meow, 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 meow. You're an old such well. Says I thought you was my friend. I thought we'd be together. I'd tell my end. He's Chucky, a buckboard cat. He's big, orange, and fat. He picks the bugs out the air. Gives all the birds that big-eyed stare. When we go to town, all the kids gather around to see Chucky, a buckboard cat. He's big, orange, and fat. Well, you know, a couple weeks went by. I was kind of missing that cat. I'd guessed he'd headed for higher ground. Well, then, meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm there in the kitchen. I hear this sound. I go out to the barn back in the corner. Under some hay there where it's a little warmer. You know, there was that Chucky cat. And now he weren't so fat. And lay right for me. You know, there was a dozen furry little baby kitties. That's right. That turned out he was a she. Oh my, oh me. Now, if I ever grow me a spine, I'll get that daughter of mine for leaving me Chucky, a buckboard cat. He's big, orange, and fat. Well, that there's a story about Chucky, the buckboard cat. Now, we're going to do that chorus again. You can sing along if you like.
Oh, please do.
We have to. It's our job. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. And Chucky said, say, excuse me, that's my tail. You run it over. That's why such well. Says I thought you was my friend. I thought we'd be together. I'd tell my end. Oh man, that old Chucky cat's plumping up again. What are we gonna do with him? Her, she, it, whatever, that gosh darn cat.
Hey, Rob.
Yes.
Can we change the words to beer, 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 beer?
I never saw a beer drinking cat before. Oh boy. How's it go? Well, I finally made it. No, that's not how.
Here's another one off of our first CD. And Buffalo Brian over here is going to sing it for you.
Oh, please.
Yes, please. Pretty please.
Okay.
How's it go?
Here we are in worn out saddles, driving someone else's cattle across the dusty trail of the Lone Prairie. Now plan A, it didn't work so well, and plan B, well, you can probably tell it'll be a while before we get to plan C. Help me out, boys. With cookies call at the crack of dawn, we pull our dusty boots back on, check our rigs and head down to the child. We grab a meal and give a yawn, we'll be right until the daylight's gone. The shiners sure weren't off of old plan B. At night by the firelight, we talk of what it would be like to pull our steaks and buy us bread, find some pretty girls to wed. Plan C is sounding better every day. All day long we listen on as the trail boss sings his endless song. Let's saddle up and move out on our way. There's work to do to draw your pay. You'll be doing this till you're old and gray. Plan B is getting older every day. Take it away, Dusty! At night by the firelight, we talk of what it would be like to pull our steaks and buy us bread, find some pretty girls to wed. Plan C is sounding better every day. Back again in worn out saddles, driving someone else's cattle across the dusty trail of the Lone Prairie. Now plan A, it didn't work so well, and plan B, well, you can probably tell, be a while before we get to plan C. Oh, I can't wait to get to plan C. I just can't wait to get to plan C.
no dodging this one.
I'm back in the saddle again. Out where a friend is a friend, where the longhorn have feed on a lowly gypsum wheat. Back in the saddle again, riding the range once more. Yeah, toting my old 44, where you sleep out every night, and the only law is right. Back in the saddle
Again, everybody.
Oh, whoop-ee-tie-I-O, rocking to and fro. Back in the saddle again. Whoop-ee-tie-I-A, I go my way. Back in the saddle again.
Rip it off. Riding the range once more. Toting my old 44. Where you sleep out every night, and the only law is right.
Back in the saddle again. Whoop-ee-tie-I-O, rocking to and fro. Back in the saddle again. Whoop-ee-tie-I-A, I go my way. Back in the saddle again. Back in the saddle again. Back in the saddle again.
Oh, who knows who wrote that song?
Could it be a man named Gene?
No.
No, Smiling.
Nope. Paul McCartney wrote it. A fellow named Ray Whitley wrote it about 10 years before Gene Autry made it famous. And Ray Whitley actually released it first, and it wasn't a hit. And I forgot what movie it was in. Was it in Back in the Saddle? Well, we're going to do the other Wild West national anthem, and you have to sing along with this one too. I don't want to be calling the state enforcement board for the cowboy law tonight.
Wildcat Kelly, looking kind of pale, was standing by the sheriff's side. And when that sheriff said,
I'm taking you to OutWest marketing, and if you don't spend a lot of money, then we're going to jail.
a wildcat raised his head and cried, oh, give me land, lots of land under starry skies above. Don't fence me in, let me ride through the wide open country that I love. Don't fence me in, let me be by myself in the evening breeze. Listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees. Send me off forever, but I'm asking please. Don't fence me in, just turn me loose. Let me straddle my old saddle underneath the western sky. On my cayuse, let me wander over yonder till I see the mountains rise. I want to ride to the ridge where the west commences and gaze at the moon till I lose my senses. I can't look at hovels and I can't stand fences. Don't fence me in, Robbie. Give me land, lots of land under starry skies above.
Everybody, don't fence me in.
Let me ride through the wide open country that I love.
Don't fence me in.
Let me be by myself in the evening breeze. Listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees. Send me off forever, but I'm asking, please, baby, don't fence me in. What you doing? Don't fence me in.
Big
Say it
Hollywood
one more
finish.
time. Papa, don't you fence me in. Don't you fence me in. Papa, don't you fence me in. How about that?
We never did, what about Save the West? When did that? Who wrote that? Cole Porter. A guy from New York.
We've got some studiers in here.
Studiers, yeah.
Okay, Save the West is the title of our first CD, so it's another original Crosstown Cowboys song, and we're going to try to play it for you now.
And you guys get to sing along with it, too. We're getting tired.
3. Oh, there's bad guys in high places, evildoers all around. It's time to pull together, time to save our town. The prairie fire's out on the plains, the cattle herds at risk. The foreman shouts out to all the hands,
There's nothing we can't fix.
well, save the West is the calling. Save the West is the creed. Save the West is a lonesome cry. For us it's a do or die. Save the West is the calling. Save the West is the Cowboys' creed. Save the West is a lonesome cry. For us it's do or die. Now my sweetheart, well, she's tied to the tracks.
Oh, whatever shall I do? Whatever.
Time to saddle up, load my guns, and ride to her rescue. Well, save the West is the calling. Save the West is the creed. Save the West is a lonesome cry. For us it's do or die. Now the bank's being robbed. Gotta get there just in time. Just in time to save the day and foil that villain's crime. Well, save the West, it's the calling.
This is your part.
Save the West, it's the creed. Save the West is a lonesome cry. For us it's do or die. Save the West is the calling. Save the West, it's the Cowboys' creed. Save the West is a lonesome cry. For us it's do or die. For us it's do or die. Okay. Well, thank you all so much for coming, and thank you, Bob Jean, for having us, and thank SCV-TV. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
SCV-TV. This is Dusty Hart of the Crosstown Cowboys, and you're watching SCV-TV.
Oh, and let's not forget to listen to Bobby Jean's radio program every Saturday morning on KHTS
Around the barn.
with the lovely and vivacious Mike Dowler at the board.
Oh, the hacienda's dark, the town is sleeping. There's no time for us to part, no time for weeping. Vaya con Dios, my darling. Vaya con Dios, my love. Vaya con Dios, my darling. Vaya con Dios, my love. Now the village mission bells are softly ringing. If you listen with your heart, you'll hear them singing. Vaya con Dios, my darling. Vaya con Dios, my love. Vaya con Dios, my darling. Vaya con Dios, my love. No matter where you are, I'll be beside you. Although you're many, many million dreams away, each night I'll say a prayer to guide you, to hasten every lonely hour of every lonely day. Now the dawn is breaking through a gray tomorrow, and the memory that we share, it's there to borrow. Vaya con Dios, my darling. Vaya con Dios, my love. Vaya con Dios, my darling. Vaya con Dios, my love. Vaya con Dios, my darling. Vaya con Dios, my love. Vaya con Dios, my darling. Vaya con Dios, my love. Thank you all so much for coming out here and seeing us. For the Crosstown Cowboys, you all drive home safe now.
Thanks for playing the solo, Dusty. Really long one. Go ahead.
Thank you so much.
That old prairie moon shines tonight while I sit here alone.